Today I brought my wagon. Look at that. She's a beaut. I can't remember what I'm painting. I'm just going to bring all the colors.
Hi, I've made it to the wall. Here's what it looks like. Somebody has taped it for me, but I'm gonna have to take that off because I need to blend this door into that wall. So like I said, today I'm painting this doorway and I'm going to match that painting with the surrounding walls so that it all blends together. You might be asking me why I'm doing this, and if you've followed my page for a while, you might know I paint a lot of murals in personal care homes and more specifically in the dementia care ward. The people who live in these wards are known to wander. They also get confused and they're not sure of their surroundings sometimes. So that makes them go up to doors and they will bang on the doors. They will try to get out of the doors. If they are successful and manage to open a door, they can get onto the other side of the door, and sometimes there's something there that could be harmful for them. So we have found that hiding doors or blending them into surrounding walls is a really great way to avoid harmful and potentially dangerous situations. So here this one is all done. As you can see, it's just a pretty fence with some flowers behind. For this one, the care home did request that the mural still stop the residents from wandering into the mural, because sometimes if it's scenery, it looks a little too inviting and people will still try to walk into it. So with the fence, it just kind of stops people. Thanks for watching. This is the Nursing Students Lounge at the University of Manitoba, and they've asked me to paint this wall to give it a little bit more life. Also, here's a clip of me putting out my tarp so that you guys can actually see that sometimes I do use one. Then I started to freehand sketch on the wall, and then I realized you couldn't really see any of that footage, so I skipped ahead to it already being done. Okay, at this point I'm starting in on the fill and the line work. They've asked for something very simple, some greenery, tropical plants. They wanted to keep it really simple and not overwhelming, but they did want full coverage. So you can see when I first started painting this, I decided that I'd use a whole bunch of different colors of green for contrasting between the leaves. But then I decided I didn't really like that look, and I went back and I repainted all the leaves so that they were all one matching color. And then I used a darker green for the backfill. So now you've learned two things about me in this video. Sometimes I do use a tarp, and sometimes I do change my mind and have to go back and repaint things. Anyways, here it is all done. I do love the final look of this mural. I think it turned out wonderful. It does add a lot of life to the room without being too overwhelming. I think that's perfect for a place to relax, especially if you're a busy student nurse. I can only imagine the overwhelming lifestyle that is. Also, they did ask me to hide a couple things in this mural, so if you can spot them, you can let me know in the comments. Also, I do know the lighting changed. This is more true to color because I did close the blinds to get this one, so this is exactly what it looks like in real life. Well, as close as I can get anyways, because videos never do anything justice. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I was asked to come in and make this tree look a little bit more exciting. This is in a library, and that's a donor tree. This means that the leaves that you saw on the tree have all of the names written of all the people who have donated to this library. And because without those donations, this library wouldn't exist, they really wanted to say thank you to the donors and paint them a really beautiful mural and have those names displayed in a really beautiful way. They also wanted this mural to be really fun and full of color, something that young kids and also adults could enjoy, and something that just brings a huge pop of life to this library. This mural is actually the first thing that you see when you walk through the doors, so I wanted it to be a really magical piece. This library is also located in the town of Altona, Manitoba, where they have a sunflower festival and a lot of other little cool things that make this town really unique, and I wanted to try to feature as much of that as possible in this mural. So that is why I included the sunflowers, but also inside the giant open book is a bubble that features things from the town itself. And then once I was finished painting, of course, I put all of the leaves back on the donor tree. And then here it is all done. And I don't know if this video does it justice, but the leaves are really cool because they're reflective and they look really shiny and pretty in real life. And it gives the tree almost like a 3D feel, which is really cool. And I made the tree really big in this mural to amplify those donors, because I think that people who donate to libraries are really special people. But really, anyone who donates their hard-earned money to a worthy cause is a good person in my books. Also, this dragon is my favorite part of the entire mural. Actually, I'm not sure. This teddy bear might be. And then right beside it is the giant bubble that I was talking about. And if you've ever been to Altona, maybe you'll recognize some of the things in there. I even put in a barn house and a giant Van Gogh. Anyways, yes, this mural is 100% freehand, painted with interior house paint. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm painting this wall at Elder Hearth.
They sell beautiful fireplaces, and I mean, look at this one. This is just in the bathroom in their showroom. So they're pretty fancy, and this stairwell leads up to their main office, so I know I had to nail this mural. So the owners of this company are from Viking and Irish descent. I mean, their name is Elder Hearth, and Elder in Icelandic means fire. So they requested a Viking and a leprechaun, and I have never been more excited. Now, when I arrived at the mural, they told me that they had changed their mind and just wanted it Canadian and fire related. But I was like, no, you requested a leprechaun and a Viking, and I am so excited that I have to paint it for you. They were worried that the leprechaun was going to be kind of a weird looking guy, but I was like, no, I want to make him look really cool. So I hope I achieved that, because here it is all done. So now to answer a couple of your questions, this mural is painted with interior house paint, and it is 100% freehanded. And I did want that leprechaun to be somewhat badass, and I think he turned out really great. And of course, the Viking, very stoic and wonderful. Then we have a Viking ship and some maple leaves to add in the Canadian thing, and then of course, fire throughout. And I don't know if you caught it, but there is a little rainbow reference in there just for that leprechaun. I didn't add the pot of gold, but you know. Anyways, you have to go get a fireplace if you're in the market for one from Elder Hearth. I got mine there, and it's beautiful. Thanks for watching.
Holy shit. Hi. That's badass.
Come up here to get a good view.
Holy shit.
That's pretty sweet, eh?